Did you know this was based on real people?
I did. It said that at the beginning.
Oh.
I be thinking that's cap though, but not that. Well, the events be cap.
Absolutely.
All right, okay.
A lot of these people was getting killed way before they really died.
Okay.
like that dude that RJ played.
Yeah.
He died way later in life.
That be the shit that get me. Like, I understand that it's going to be some fiction. How you going to fiction a nigga death? And the way he died was so. Anyway, we gonna get to
All that man ever wanted to do was shoot somebody.
Right.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Cinecism. I'm Eric.
It's your boy Dante, man, and today we're gonna be doing a review on the Netflix original movie, The Harder They Fall.
The Harder They Fall, a Western style flick with a crazy ensemble cast. The main plot of the movie, in its simplest form, is it's a classic revenge story. It's about a young man by the name of Nat Love whose parents are brutally murdered right in front of him at the start of the movie. From then on, his entire motivation is avenging his parents' death. What a traumatic experience, am I right?
They always make you feel like you want the revenge.
I mean, immediately.
Yeah, right.
The mom's was probably the worst victim.
That was unnecessary. I didn't feel like she needed to catch a L.
Well, yeah.
And there was old girl too.
Who?
From that Kevin Hart movie.
Okay, I knew I recognized her from something.
Yeah, man.
I knew it.
Cause I was hyped. I was like, oh, she in here.
Oh, she out here? So let's talk about Nat Love, played by our boy.
It's just great to see his career is on the skyrocket. He honestly is that great of an actor.
He's an outlaw, right?
Damn near everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Who ain't an outlaw?
Everybody breaking the law to some extent in this movie. You know, pick up present day, and he's a grown man now, and he's hunting down members of Rufus Buck's crew and like taking them out one by one. I mean, he seemed like a pretty chill dude, like as far as a character, but he don't have no reservations about murking people. Yeah, you know. I mean, I think most of the people in the movie kind of like that.
Absolutely.
What else about him as like a person?
You know how these Westerns.
Yeah,
ain't no development whatsoever. It's very basic.
Man's man.
Right. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap type gentleman. And that's a pretty cool character, like you say. Very chill. He got his own gang. He got his own crew. A love story entangled in there as well. So him and Stagecoach Mary, they got a little something going on.
My girl.
Yes. Our girl. They had some strong on-screen chemistry, I'll say that.
You really bring it when it comes to like having like a love interest in these type movies, or if that's what you want to call this. Yeah. They was something. Let's talk about Rufus Buck. What a Western fucking name. Rufus was ruthless in this video. Yes. Rufus is, well, I ain't gonna tell you exactly who he is yet, but basically he is the main villain of the movie that Nat has his revenge arc against. Of course, they don't have their significant showdown until like the end of the movie, and we get some pretty revealing information in that time. You know, man, Rufus, they started off making him appear to be this just cold-hearted, just pure evil villain, which turns out wasn't exactly the case, man. I kind of like that about him, because he wasn't just like a one-note villain.
Yeah, he got a lot of character development too, especially near the end, which I wasn't expecting. These movies typically don't have much of that. Like these classic I would have been cool with it just being Me too. The twist was welcome, though. It was great. It definitely, I wasn't expecting it. But, you know, in watching this movie, I really realized that with this and with him being in Hobbs and Shaw, I enjoy Idris as a bad guy.
Me too.
I mean, you know, and also on The Wire, I mean, you could argue that he played like a...
He was a fucking villain.
Yeah, absolutely.
He always bring this level of charm to it. Yes. You just make him so likable.
That's what it is. You want to hate the nigga, but it's like you just can't.
He's just too cool.
No matter how, that's it. He had a presence. Whenever he showed up, especially in that scene, the one that stood out to me was when they let him out of jail and he actually walked out of that cell.
It was like releasing an animal.
Dog, that's what it felt like.
I'm the juggernaut, bitch. That's what that shit reminded me. Yeah.
For them to go through all of this quest, you definitely need somebody to root for in that end showdown. And this was something I wanted to see. I wanted to see him face off against Nat Love. Absolutely.
It was some fun moments with both of their crews.
Absolutely.
That I really enjoyed. Yes. First of all, shout out to Regina King as Trudy, man. She was something else, man. I don't get to see her as a villain often, but I really appreciated that air.
I can't think of a time where I've seen her play a character like this.
Yeah, me neither.
Where she was just
immediately came names comes to mind where she played a role like this. But I enjoyed her seeing her like this, man. She was gritty too.
She was probably more scary than he was, honestly. She just seemed so much more ready to hurt people.
She'll smile in your face and shoot you all in your
Absolutely. Exactly. This is an actor's movie. If you see any classic Western, they're very basic stories, like you said, classic revenge stories. It's really up to the cast. That's usually what stands out in a good Western movie, is usually the cast and what they bring to the role. And this is no different. They got every black person that you ever wanted to see in a movie together, which was awesome. R.J. Cyler, I didn't even know he was in this movie. He's another one of my favorite up-and-coming actors. Anytime I see him in a role, he always brings a certain quality to it. That character he played, he was probably my favorite character in the whole movie. I cannot lie. He was funny as hell.
I also like Delroy Lindo in here, man, as the marshal, that thick-ass mustache.
Bro.
I like the role he played in the relationship he had with Nat and how he was supposed to be like a lawman or whatever, but, you know, the lines are blurred in movies like these.
Yeah. Delroy Lindo, always great, man. And
incredible actor.
Yeah, and it's like he could play anybody and you always just believe it. Yeah,
he got that charm to him too.
Absolutely.
To like every role I've seen him.
Absolutely. And his character in this movie is very understated, but is impactful. Zazie Beetz killed this shit. She's not in a whole lot of stuff, but every time I see her in something, she's great in it. And this is probably the most I've ever seen of her. And certainly she expresses a lot of range in Atlanta too, but it felt like a step up from that in this movie, if I'm gonna be honest.
She was great in Joker too, and in and in Deadpool too. Yeah. Who else?
Man, we got Lakeith in here.
Yeah, that's my boy, man.
Same, man.
He won't shit in here though, boy. But he was a cold motherfucker. He had some dope ass lines. I will say that.
Absolutely. His script seemed amplified to me, like in terms of his dialogue. Everybody else was kind of like short with you. You know, they wasn't really saying a lot. He was like the wordsmith.
Yeah.
You know, he was almost poetic in the way that he would talk about how he gonna kill you. I found it very interesting that everybody else felt like they was trying to be a character. Lakeith just felt like he just showed up and was Lakeith. He didn't try to do a southern accent or nothing. He just sounded like just Lakeith Stanfield. He was scary too, man.
He was, man, because he was so cold. He was almost void of emotion.
But the way that he would convey things, it made you feel like he had some type of empathy, but then when you see his actions,
his actions
didn't
line up with it.
He's the worst one out here.
Let's talk about the twist though with Rufus Buck being Nat's brother. Did you know that?
I did not.
Me neither.
I didn't. You know, it's so funny, man. I never questioned that there was any connection between the two of them. Obviously, I knew there was something between
him and the dad.
Yes, of course. You knew that because he wouldn't have just came and slaughtered his family for no reason. So you knew that, but I never would have suspected that it was his father. Honestly, I thought they used to be partners or something, and then he double crossed him.
That's what my assumption was. Or he owed him money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just worked for him. I don't know. A twist like this isn't new, but the way that it was delivered in this movie, I thought was a little bit refreshing because I don't think the general audience was really ever expecting something like that.
Absolutely not. I will say that from Rufus Buck's point of view, that plan is fucked. Like, I mean, outside of killing the parents, leaving him alive to do what? I mean, I know what it was supposed to be, like poetic justice. You know, he had turned his life around, became this Christian, and somehow this was going to turn his son into a villain. But what if he didn't take that path? There's no guarantees that he would have. He could have became a preacher or just as easily went into any other line of work, and then what? I guess he just knew that he was going to come from revenge.
I mean,
because it's the Wild Wild West.
I guess the odds of you avenging them is stronger than you
significantly higher. Right. Speaking of which, that whole ending sequence was, you know, that's how these movies are always going to end. You know, the bad guy takes over some town. As much guns are in these movies, that town is always gunless for some
right.
Nobody can protect themselves from the big bad guy. That ending sequence was actually very dope. Well shot and well executed, and the action was very good. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed that ending scene. And it was multi-layered too. It wasn't a quick, and then it was probably about, what, 20, 30 minutes of footage, you think?
Yeah, it was a good long little final battle. Damn, it was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, yo, how the fuck? So I'm glad you mentioned the extensive final battle.
Yeah.
Cause how the fuck Trudy's still alive? Like why they ain't show what happened with they little like the end of their fight?
I knew they was gonna try to do something like that. Cause if you don't see somebody die, they always take that liberty when they writing a script.
But they was fighting for a minute.
Yeah. I honestly was mad that Zazie didn't clap her. I mean, I know she hit her with the butt of the gun.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was like, well, she's not dead from that though, right? Like I would doubt it. That probably wouldn't kill her. She's probably just unconscious. So I didn't quite understand why they didn't just shoot her. But
I guess guess.
You think they're trying to bait a sequel?
They gotta be.
This is not a movie that should have a sequel, man. This is.
I mean, I can see how it could, though. I mean, not to say that I want or need one, but
a lot of your favorite people did. I mean, now it's just Regina. Now it's just Trudy, Nat, and Stagecoach Mary.
I mean, they just introduce a new villain. That's all they would have.
Well, I guess Trudy would be the villain in the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel about the whole, based on a true story, based on true people, but we gonna just do whatever with their life?
I mean, it's cool, but it's inconsequential. If you just gonna make up shit,
that's what I'm saying.
These people could be anybody.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, and they made a point to say that at the beginning of the movie. They put it like, these people were real. These people existed. I'm like, okay, but none of this shit is real. So what does that mean? It don't mean anything. You might as well just make them fictionalized characters. Why use real names for fictionalized scenarios?
I guess maybe just to incite people to like research these people.
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, I'm sure these are like black, black cowboys or whatever. Something to inspire, research something. I don't know.
That's a good point.
I mean, it's a hunch. Who knows why?
That's what we saying, but who knows what they saying. Another thing about this movie, the soundtrack was out here popping. I felt like they did a really good job of, because I'm not the biggest fan of when they do these period pieces and it be modern music like Cardi B and shit playing and just kind of take you out of it. They didn't do that. They definitely picked a certain era of music that felt very appropriate for this movie. It didn't feel out of place, which I always appreciate. And then also, man, the way this movie was shot, the intro especially, like the way that the title came in when he was fucking old boy, that was fucked up. Because I was thinking in my mind, like, how many words are left? Oh, he got some bullets coming. Like, I said, oh, damn, he got like 3 more bullets. Harder, they fall. Okay, he's still getting clapped a bit.
It definitely was very stylized movie.
Absolutely.
It had a very cool aesthetic to it.
It looked great. It just was really well done, well shot.
I've been feeling these modern Western movies, man. Growing up, I was never really a big fan of Westerns, but this is kind of making me, because my dad, that era or generation, they used to love watching.
I was just about to say my mom is a huge Western
my dad loved these Westerns, so it made me kind of, because all of the modern, recent Western inspired movies and shows I've seen, I've enjoyed. So it's kind of making me want to go back and rewatch some of those classics.
They've been very well done. And like you said, it makes you want to go back and revisit even the originals or even some of these older shows and things like that. They found a very good way in making it appealing to a newer generation, I feel.
I agree. Overall, I thought this was a pretty solid film. Cast did their thing. These are some of my favorite actors in the game right now. So it was cool to see some of them together in a film that I've never seen appear together before. Thought that was pretty awesome. Yeah, the music was dope. The visuals I really enjoyed as well. It was just a dope modern take on like the American Western classic. I'm gonna give The Harder They Fall an 8 out of 10.
This cast right here, this is a dream cast. When I saw the trailer for this movie, that's the thing that drew me in the most. Some of my favorite actors are in this movie and it just was great to see them all together. I don't know, it felt like a mashup episode of something. You know what I'm saying? A fantasy draft. This movie is very well done, very well executed. It's a really fun movie. Action is great. Acting is great. The characters are really cool and memorable. It's just a good time. So for all that, I'm going to give The Harder They Fall an 8 out of 10 as well. I would definitely recommend watching it. If not for nothing else, the cast alone is going to deliver. But the movie itself is actually very fun.
All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to our review of The Harder They Fall. Definitely would suggest that you guys check it out. It's on Netflix. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any suggested reviews that you'd like to see us do on our channel, don't forget to drop a comment below.
Absolutely. And if you guys have seen The Harder They Fall, please let us know what you thought. What are some of your other favorite Western movies or shows, or what other cast or characters would you like to see link up and build up on these fantasy casts that we're starting to see a lot of? We'd like to know that as well. Appreciate y'all, man.
Thank y'all.
Peace.